remains to be seen. Probably the sweet spot is not as great. Balls that get squared up by big, strong guys like Adam Matthews will still travel. I mean, he hit a couple of balls up on the bridge yesterday at batting practice, so he can still, charge the ball. So can Walker, so can Bradley, but not as many. When you miss balls, you don't miss balls and hit them in the bullpen. Now you have to hit them pretty good. Wingo hit 8 or 9 home runs last year. He may do that again because he is more physical than he's ever been. However, he might not. There might be more balls on the warning track. So I just believe that you just won't see as many home runs. Now, remember, warm days, wind blowing, you still might change the game a little bit. But I think there's going to be less homers.
Coach Tanner, is this season, to say it would be just another season seems like that wouldn't exactly be the term either, but are you in uncharted water as a coach coming off a national championship? Is this a new, different kind of season for you?
Well, I don't think it's drastically different. The only thing is, as I said earlier, guys out front are not defined well enough yet. Could be Webb and Roth right now. But we'll find ourselves a little bit more as we go, but most teams take on those characteristics. We got some veteran guys back. We know there's so many good teams around the country, and there's some in our league, and Florida's ranked #1. So, and Vandy's in the top part. So there's so many good teams, but there normally are in the Southeastern Conference. So we're just going to try to play the game the way it's supposed to play and get in a position to win. I hope our depth is good on the mound, and if we keep pricing the bullpen, we feel good at the back. But that's all it is. It's now I don't want to say it's just another season. It's a year after you just won a national championship. But our approach will not be any different. We're going to try to win games, and hope you win enough to get to play at the end.
Is it possible to put in layman's terms for all that coefficient of restitution standard teams? How do you explain that to fans that read that or
a little less exit speed. The balls just don't come off the bat as fast. That's the difference. The exit speed off the bat is not as great as it normally has been, and that's where it is. So. Defense is always important at any level, wooden bats, major leagues or little leagues. So it becomes even greater now. You can't give up bases and opportunities. I think that the day of the 13 to 12 game may be past.
How does this stand different from the old standard?
Just less. The aluminum bats, the walls are thicker. They're thicker. So there's less trampoline effect. There's less exit speed. It plays more wood-like. It has to satisfy standards. The bats have to be tested. So there you go.
As a coach, just go to wood bats.
Well, I think that question was asked, but then you got money issues. Major League Baseball, are they going to underwrite certain conferences? They're going to underwrite all conferences. There's been some dialogue along those standards, but at the end of the day, wooden bats still are more expensive than aluminum bats. Not individually, but collectively. A wooden bat will break and you're done. We use wood in practice a lot, and we broke out some wood the other day. First day out, we broke 2 wooden bats. They're done. Aluminum bat you can use for a while. There are some programs that use 8 or 10 aluminum bats the entire season. We tend to replace ours a little bit. There's only so many reps in a bat. Even though it may be fine, we like to put some new ones in there. So it still is a financial issue as to why we're not using wood.
Was there major concern about teams doing bat rolling?
It was brought up, but I don't think that really was. I think that happens more in softball and I don't mean women's softball. I mean at the softball level, the professional level, and they didn't have any standards. It was let's go out and hit some long ones. And I think that's where that happened more than anywhere else. It was said to have happened in college baseball some, but I never saw any reason to believe that happened in our league or against anybody we played.
The pitching staff is starting to take shape a little bit. What's going on, catcher, in your eyes right now?
Well, Kyle Enders was here yesterday visiting a little bit. You miss guys like that. Your fifth-year veterans, your captains, the guys that are, they're guys that are solid for you. We're going to have a new guy back there. Dante Rosenberg is a guy that may have a leg up, although he's hurt a little bit. His back's been bothering him. I think he'll be active today, but he's not a guy that's going to catch 60 games. Brent Worsham worked extremely hard. Robert Barry. We're still waiting on Brady's status if he's able to get eligible. Those 3 or 4 guys that I mentioned, they're solid guys. I think it's a matter of getting their feet wet and having the pitchers get comfortable with them. So we're not going to put a guy behind the plate that can't do it. And it's not a case where we're really, really inexperienced and it's going to be a hard time for us. Those guys are pretty good players.
Ray, you've had a lot of great shortstops during your time here. Where does Peter Mooney kind of fall into that line?
Ask me in early June. He's a lot of fun. I like his game. He's a little bit quiet. He's a left-handed hitter. He's got some range. He's short. He's got a good arm. He goes after balls. I even yesterday when we were doing some skill work, I said to him, I said, Peter, you got to slow down. And I said, you just got to be a little more composed as a defender. He tends to try to make the dramatic great play too much. And the deal is you try to get outs. So I tried to slow him down from that perspective. But he's a good-looking player. Now, that being said, Bobby Henney made 6 errors last year. I don't know that any shortstop in college baseball did that or can do that. That's a tremendous statistic. But Peter's a good player. He gives us another infielder with 3 veteran guys that, you know, he's not a freshman. He's a junior college transfer. He's a good player. I expect him to have a really good year and hit around 300.
When you're a defending champion every year, the next year it seems for every team you play, it's a chance to make a statement. Do you think you guys are ready to have that intensity day in, day out? So the other time you have to make a statement. It's their Super Bowl, basically.
You know, I don't know about all that. I don't know that we'll be concerned with that or our players will be thinking about that. We like to think that, you know, if you play in the Southeastern Conference, most of the time, unless you're playing each other, that's the way people feel. You know, I know when I came here, I was the hunter. We were trying to go get some people. And then you have a little success, you become the hunted. I'd rather be the hunted. And there's a lot of teams in our league that way. So we're not, you know, the good news for me as a head coach is there's some guys on our field that understand perspective, they understand adversity. And it was one reason I think that they played well last year at the end is they never really got too concerned with things when they didn't go well. And they also didn't dwell on it when they had good days. It was kind of perspective and let's be ready tomorrow and try to stay in position. And so a lot of those guys are back. We know, I mean, people want to beat us, we know that, but that's okay.
Ray, what happened last year is such a career accomplishment. Did you have to ever check yourself in the middle of the offseason and say, okay, what's the goal now? What's the motivation? Did you ever catch yourself saying that?
No, not really. I never felt that we won a national championship because of me, and I've been doing this for a long time, and it's all about the entire package that I talked about. Our fans and players and coaches, and you know, you have some better teams that don't go as far, and some teams that overachieve. It's part of college athletics, and we just happen to make it magical at the most critical time of the year. So we're not going to do anything different. We're excited about it. I said to Neil the other day, it's a great memory. It's not something that you add more pressure to yourself or you try to be somebody you're not. If anything, you maybe have a little more confidence. You draw on it when you need to. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be, baseball will humble you. And that's part of it.
This year you lose, you know you lost. But somehow, with guys like Wingo and Adrian, still get the feeling that zaniness or goofiness or whatever it was that made that team gel. Is it still there?
Oh, I think so, very much so. And Roth and those guys, they like to play, they like to have fun, they like to win. And, you know, as I said, when they didn't, they were pretty good about it. You know, sometimes, especially early in the season, it really kind of concerned me that they could handle it so well, because they handled it a lot better than I did. And I think that still exists. There's some guys, Matthews, Marzilli, Jackie, you know, Jackie Jr., they're good guys, and we think we're gonna win some games. We know we're not gonna win them all, but I think our approach is gonna be good. And that's very, very important, that you go play the game the way you're supposed to. You do your very best to get the results, and you take out everything else. You take out the stress, you take out the anxiety. You're not concerned about the other jersey or who it is. You approach it the right way, and you feel good about it at the end of the day.
Coach Tanner, as we've gone through an entire school year, did it make you happy when time after time Coach Spurrier, Coach Horn kept referencing the baseball team as, this means we can do it too? Did that please?
It did. That was a very nice compliment, and I got a chance to visit with those guys, and Coach Spurrier was there for the last game, and that was very nice. I mean, I think, as I said, it's we're all trying to win. Coach Staley had a big win last night, and it's good. And I know when we lose, a lot of people get upset, but that's also part of it. And those compliments were nice, and hopefully they were infectious in a lot of ways, and we try to draw strength and enthusiasm and success from each other. So that was great.
Right, and yet, if you guys didn't go during the fall on Anderson, Harrington, and Thomason, who was during summer, how are those guys progressing?
Well, they're still on the shelf. Deshaun has a new injury. He got hurt a week ago, skill work, his wrist. He dove for a ball in the outfield. He's still having problems with it. The x-rays and the MRI did not show a break, but he's probably going to have to get it looked at. It hasn't made a lot of progress, so he's still on the shelf. Patrick Harrington is still on the shelf. He might be available before the end of the year, but it's likely that he will redshirt. Greg Thomason, on the other hand, was just in Birmingham on the 17th with Dr. Andrews. He probably will be activated at the end of March. As I said at that time, we're not going to rush him. Dr. Andrews is going to turn him loose. He may pitch a few innings in the second half, but it's not a case with him necessarily that you say, well, just hold him in redshirt. Well, if he signs as a junior, then you didn't really redshirt him. So we'll just see how it goes. But he's excited. He's in great shape. He's made a remarkable recovery. He's throwing bullpens now. But we'll be patient. Even though the calendar says you can use him, we may or may not. And if we do, it'll be in short stints.
We have lots of players. One or two more questions, guys. We have numerous players from this area, from the Midlands. What makes this area such a good hotbed for baseball?
I was at the high school coaches convention in the state here a couple of weeks ago, and we have a lot of high school coaches that are outstanding. I think in a lot of states, and not to really make this negative, but a lot of times baseball coaches in history have been an assistant football coach or somebody else. It hasn't been a primary coach. This state is a little bit different. Guys that coach baseball in this state, that is most of the time their primary responsibility in their varsity sports. So that's where it starts. I believe when we open up in 3 weeks, we're going to probably have maybe 50% or better with South Carolinians on our team, which I think will be the most. But there's so many good teams in the state. I think Baseball America is about to do a story on so many programs, with Clemson and us and the Citadel and the College of Charleston and Winthrop and Furman Wofford any given year, and I missed somebody up there, Coastal. But there are so many, by population, how many programs, how many states have so many good teams?
Coach, who do you look at in the leadoff role, and what are you looking for out of it in the first 3 weeks?
Get on base. Evan Marzilli, right now, he finished the year there. Until he proves otherwise, I think he'll be there. We might make some adjustments against left and righties according to how it shakes out. I mean, today I think the first 2 pitchers in the scrimmage is Webb and Harper. And, we got Jackie's a left-handed hitter too, so if Mooney hits up at the top, all of a sudden now you got 3 lefties, but you could slide Matthews in up there. Wingo led our team in hitting this fall, and he normally is in the top 3 with his on-base percentage. So I'm not sure we'll have a set lineup. We might, but I think on any given day, I'll just think that this is the best lineup, and we'll go from there.
Is the door open?
Last one.
Is the door open? Return to the team next year?
I would say that it's open. Now, he's got some work to do academically, and certainly